people.
Yes, yes. Well, you know, it's Tuesday, and you know what happens on Tuesdays. David Goldstein, the founder of Biltmore Loan Jewelry, joins us with always some tidbits of information on how to let us know what's it worth, Arizona, and wait until you see some of the finds that you brought in today. First of all, good to see you.
Thank you. It is absolutely great to be here.
Always love seeing you.
And I have to tell you that there's just one thing I want to say is I was at a jewelry store this weekend. I ran into a woman I told you earlier, and somebody was introducing me to her, and she was kind enough to say to me, heard my name, and she said, "I watch you every Tuesday on Sonoran Living." So, Sandy, thank you. Please watch.
Oh, yeah. Thank you, Sandy.
Continue watching. We thank you very much for that.
Yes, please do, because you always have such great information. Okay,
Thanks.
First of all, let's just recap real quick for those who don't know the famous David Goldstein, what Biltmore Loan Jewelry does.
Famous used very loosely, but what we do is we loan and or purchase assets that you can now borrow against that banks simply won't look at. I thought this week was a really interesting one because if you noticed 2 days ago on the front page of the Arizona Republic, they talked about title loans and almost in a very ugly light. And I think that that's a really good point to talk about because I think it's really important for people to understand that that is what the masses are doing. And that's why we created Biltmore Loan, to separate ourselves from that. They are charging the maximum legal limits. We are not. They are looking for preying on the less and more vulnerable, the less likely to be able to pay their loans. Our job is to facilitate you in a short-term situation to get you out of your situation, not to confiscate your product.
Well, and with dignity and with class, which is exactly why we appreciate you and the message that you bring in and the goods that you bring in as well, because some of the interesting things that come to you. Let's talk about this piece right here, because we're talking not only, like David just mentioned, title loans and things like that. We've talked about property and cars, but jewelry is, I mean, you've been a jeweler for over 30 years, and this came to you. I want to, if you can just take a quick look at this for me, because this is really intricate. I want to show you what happens with this piece right here. And it literally, it's a working piece of art. Tell me how this, the quick story behind this, David.
This was just a woman in Peoria who had this in her family for years. It was sitting in her safe deposit box along with a few other pieces. Needless to say, it's not something she's going to wear. And there's a little collectability to it. Quite frankly, it's not so valuable as it is unique and fantastically manufactured. You can see that it's all done in 18 karat and diamonds. The hinges are perfect. This is called en tremblay, which is a French word for movement in the piece. And you'll see that the center diamonds in it actually shake also. They're on posts and move, as well as the outside are hinged.
Oh my gosh. Oh.
Yeah, and it's, there you go. We'd have two of them now. And
it would have been shaking all over the floor in a minute.
So interestingly enough, this is just a brooch that's just really interesting from probably the 40s in France. And something like this, we purchased this brooch for $2,250, and it's more unique, but not as wearable, but just very interesting.
Right, and you're not taking it apart.
No, this
You're
will not be taken
You're going to find somebody
apart.
who appreciates it, and that's kind of what you do. You're the connector. You either help people out for short-term loans until they can get back on their feet and
We're
get through the process.
kind of the liaison to the buyer. So this will be sold. This will be sold probably in Europe.
Okay,
not
I'm going to
in
give that
America.
back to you so
Okay.
that I do not drop that way. And then we'll talk about the bracelet in just a little bit. Unfortunately, we ran out of time because we have so much fun there. You can email pictures of items that you're wondering what's it worth. You might have inherited something or maybe been given something as a gift a long time ago and you just don't wear it anymore. info@biltmoreloan.com. Send them a photo, a description. They'll be here every Tuesday to talk about some of the items that you've emailed to them. If you want more information about Biltmore Loan Jewelry, call them at 480-991-LOAN. And they also have a website, biltmoreloan.com. Like them on Facebook at Biltmore Loans. Thanks.